Good afternoon, everybody. This is Vonda Evans, and today I want to talk about you almost there. You know, I remember in life, when you get close to your destination, it seems like the anxiety, you start to worry, and it overtakes you. It's harder to be toward the end than it is to be in the beginning. See, in the beginning, you can say, well, you know, I've got a long path ahead of me. I remember being in college and you just start off, you know, it's okay. But maybe about that third year, you start getting antsy and worrying about what you want to do, and it just seems like it won't come. I remember being pregnant. You get excited about being pregnant in the beginning. About that 7th or 8th month, you're so excited, you're determined. It's like the anxiety overtakes you, because the closer that you are to your destination, the more that you begin to get panic and get anxious, and that's when you make mistakes. The majority, they say, of car accidents, 80% of them occur within a mile of the home. Why? Because we're getting relaxed, we're anxious, and we're not cautious. And what we have to do is, we know right now that the state governments are saying that, you know, we are plateauing. We've been to the plateau. Now we're coming down. We're coming down. We're coming down. There are fewer cases of COVID being reported. We're coming down, but we're not ready to be at the end, but we're getting close. And this is the time when people start panicking. I want to tell you this, that I remember very young when I was in a church, and I would see old women and, you know, the older mothers, and they would say something like, you know, just hold on, baby. God gonna give you a testimony. You know, and I look back over my life and I say, You know, I remember, you know, being in college and getting through that, and, you know, always feeling that there was a battle that was within me between, you know, seeking the world and seeking God, you know. Then I went on and, you know, I was able to go to law school, you know. Then I think about the battles that I've endured, you know, going to law school, almost not passing, but ultimately passing. Going through getting married, having a child that the doctor thought would be crippled, and how I just felt like, you know, why me, Lord? And then ultimately going through a divorce. Then ultimately almost being homeless when I got black mold in a place that I had lived in, and I had to start again. And I'm just saying, why me? I don't get it. You know, I think about when it seems like your life starts stabilizing, I'm getting big cases. And I remember, you know, on one of my first cases where the guy, you know, was with baby Bianca, I remember that morning, you know, getting a call from a very close friend telling me her husband had died, you know, and I felt like, you know, Peaches, can I go through? Say it's gone. I can't. And I hear a voice saying, you gotta go. And I got the immediately, I don't know what to say. And then I remember having one trial where these young girls were killed and abducted in Hamtramck, and had to fly one day to leave my trial to be with my daughter to bury her boyfriend. I think about all of that I have gone through. I think about the breakups right on the verge of when I had my biggest cases. I get writer's block. I have a personal relationship that may break down. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to do. But somehow God brought me through. And then I think about, you know, all the sacrifices that I had made, and the media talking about me and saying I'm not doing what I'm doing, and then making a decision to retire. And then June, 4 months later, burying my children's father. Those things that I'm telling you about, I said, why me, God? I don't get this. You know, I mean, I'm on the good side. And I just know that now I look back and I said, you know what? You took off your robe at Third Circuit Court and you sat in judgment of people for the authority of freedom in the worldly sense. But now I'm giving you a robe of faith and persistence. All that I have done, all that you have gone through, is preparation now for you to be able to talk to your people. I know recently I was at church, doing Zoom church. And my pastor, Bishop Dwight Dobbins said, listen, each of you has a responsibility to go in the world and tell your testimony about power, faith, and purpose. Go on Instagram, Facebook, social media platforms, and let people know what you come through. Let them know your testimony. Let them know that the things that they're going through, they're going to get through it. And in that way, by sharing our testimony of what we've been through, we can encourage others to keep going. Well, why is it that, you don't seem to be bothered by this? You got a death wish? No, because I've been through a lot. I've survived. Recently there was an article that I saw, and they said, why are all of the, some of the pastors and bishops, evangelists being called home? Because they ran their race. And all of them lessons that they taught us was for one thing, for them to pass the baton of faith. I see the generals in God's army out here on the front line. I see Jason Flowers that had the COVID and he's singing praises to the Lord. I see Leonard out here who was stricken with it, on his way to the hospital, saying, pray for me, saints, and if I don't get back, I'll see you on this other side, and daily posting encouraging words. I see Representative Sherry Dinyago, who had buried her sister afflicted with COVID, but at the same time, every day encouraging us to take precautions and to not take this lightly, to keep going on. I see Miss Patty Turner. Every day she got something positive to say. I see Brian Banks encouraging words that tell us to hold on. And obviously we know Reverend Green of Calvary Church praying every day, having church every day. Those are God's armies and many more. You sharing your testimony of what God brought you through. And now it's up to us to be able to share our testimony and to say, listen, if I can go through burying my daddy and losing my child father, losing my job, and losing all this, we're going to make it through. So that by sharing of our testimony, do we give faith to others, because we've been through so much. We've seen so much. And no, we haven't seen COVID-19, but we survived things that should have killed people. Stay encouraged. Remember, we're halfway there. Don't slip up. This is when a lot of people going to get eliminated, but know that God is giving you a testimony. Who you don't hear from is them people that ain't never been through nothing. And for the people that have not been through anything, oh, I know it got to be a blessing. They don't know how to lead the people and tell them to be encouraged. They don't know what to tell you. They don't know to say, well, why are you so relaxed? Because I done survived. We should have killed people. But let me just say this to you. We are going to go through. Many of you, this will be your testimony. I survived COVID. But if you live long enough, you're going to have some more testimonies. And those people in God's army, keep on going. Keep lifting people up and people encouraging people. The power of life and death is in the tongue. It's what you speak, it's what you put out there. I see people surviving cancer. I see people who have buried people and still back to work. Their testimony is their life. That you got to keep going no matter what. Because we're going to make it through to the other side. Be encouraged and know this. We're almost there. Be blessed.